Hi, my name's Robin Hadley and I'm from Manchester in the UK. I'm aged 58 and I come from a working class background. Part of that background was the expectation that I would be a dad, and I'm not a dad. And there's a number of reasons for that. I was married in my mid-20s and we tried for children, but the relationship failed. I had another significant relationship in my mid-30s, and the woman involved in that turned around to me one day and said, "Luke, Rob, you make a great dad and I want to have your babies." Unfortunately, the relationship then split up. At that time, I was really particularly broody. I was desperate to be a dad. There was a social urge, it's what all my peers were doing, but also there's a biological urge. And I was also aware of a social clock element in that I didn't want to be an older dad. I wanted to be a dad that would be able to play football and take my son or daughter to the bar or pub or do social interactions and still have the capacity to do that and not seem to be too old and out of time. And my peers were becoming parents. A good friend of mine became a dad, and I was so jealous of him, very, very jealous. So jealous I could hardly speak to him, couldn't face him. Eventually, we did have a chat, and I said to him, "You have the life I should have. You've got everything that I should have," and that's how it felt. I did meet another partner who was slightly older than me and had wanted to have children, but because of her age and because of her medical knowledge, she's a health professional, she knew that there were risks involved in that, and had decided that time had influenced her to the degree of not having children. And so I decided to stick in this fantastic relationship. And I'm really glad I did that. But there is a sadness that I can get into any time, that I carry in my pocket whether I want to or not. And sometimes I do go there through choice. Other times it's just seeing somebody interacting with their children and thinking, actually, I miss that. That's what I miss. There is a significant element, though, about aging without children. And the organisation Aging Without Children, of which I'm a founder member, is really trying to raise a profile of people who are going through later life without adult children to support them. About 92% of informal care is carried out by adult children for their older relatives. And that is really important because the government and institutions rely on adult children to do those little bits of support, that safety net that means that people aren't stuck in hospital because it's not safe to go home, because there's no care around people. So for older, childless individuals, where are they in government policy, in health and social care policy? They're not there. If you check documents, you won't find people without children there. And that has a significant implication for the future. At the moment, there are at least 1 million people aged 65 and over who don't have children, adult children, to help them. And in 2030, there'll be at least 2 million people in that age 65 and over in that circumstance. And within that group are people who are parents, but for whatever reason, their children aren't available there to care for them. So that could be because the children are far away geographically. There could have been a split in the family, or perhaps their child has died and they're bereaved parents. What we're invisible to the powers and the institutions, and we need to be visible. And that's very much what Aging Without Children are trying to do, is raise the profile and get us acknowledged